Alright guys, to make sure that we get everything done correctly, right here for embedding your images and creating a clipping mask, I'm going to create a quick tutorial for you guys. So at this point, we should already have all of I have our template set up, and remember, we're going to have two layers. If we cut this one off, I need to make sure actually this one is removed. But we can see we have everything here. Double click here. This is not going to be printed, so if we go to File, Print, you kind of can see that print preview that nothing's going to actually be printed right now. Okay, so we want to add everything to this bottom layer if we want to create a clipping mask, and I'll show you what happens if we don't do that. So anyway, back in here, I'm going to say, let's say I'm going to add an image of this bonfire here, either one you want to do. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to say save image as. Now I'm going to notice it says AVIF file, so I'm not going to actually do that. So I'm going to go back down to maybe this one, because I want to make sure it, oh, I could copy it and then do it, but I want to just save image as. Okay, it's saved as a JPEG. I'm going to save it under my pictures, bonfire image, save. Okay, now when we go into Illustrator, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to open this. I'm going to go under my pictures. I am going to pull my bonfire image over in here, and then first thing I'm going to do, Control minus to zoom out, and then while clicking and holding this corner, I'm going to hold down the shift key and scale it down to about the size I want. Now you can see we already see our image there, and the outline of our oval, so I'm going to make it until it fits proportionally there, and I'm going to just kind of lift that up. Now obviously we already know we don't want it going outside of that. Now, as long as it is on this bottom layer, you can go ahead and, before we do that, my bad, we want to make sure while this image is selected that we click embed. And what this does is it ties it to this. It's not a link otherwise, it's just a link to a website. It only will work on the computer you're on. It's embedded to the file, linked to that file. So to make sure, if you want to share this, you want to make sure you always embed that file to make sure it will show up appropriately. Okay, so once that is embedded, that's how you do that. All you have to do now is you're going to select that. With this being on the bottom, hold down the shift key, select that. It's oval. Under the properties tag, we're going to go down to make clipping mask, and there we go. Now if you want to move things around, you can click on that image, kind of double click. Alright, and you can see how I can move it around inside of that oval without moving the oval shape itself. And then other than that, key things you definitely want to be aware of is that this wouldn't work if we have it reversed. Okay, so I want to pop this back out. And what you're going to notice is if I don't have that on the right layer, like let's just say that you can see here, it's at the top. Okay, now we don't see our oval, but if we were to select both of these, okay, select them now and go in here to create a clipping mask, you're going to see this error pop up. Okay, so if that error pops up, all that means is like, hey, it's not in the right order. What we want to do is make sure we bring that to the very bottom to a separate layer. I accidentally added these in. And now we can select both of these at the same time and make that a clipping mask where it'll work out. That's all there is to it. Let me know if you have any questions.